Welcome. Today we're going to be quickly going through everything you need to know about 5 of the major recreational drugs in the UK. Now, quick disclaimer, we're not recommending anyone takes any of these drugs, and it's important to be aware that they can be extremely detrimental to your physical and mental health, even life-threatening. However, we want to make sure you have all the facts and information you need if you choose to experiment with drugs, so that you can stay safe as possible. First up, what you need to know about cannabis, aka weed. Cannabis is a plant that contains loads of active ingredients, one of the most abundant being THC. This is the psychoactive component that produces the feeling of being high. Cannabis is usually smoked, but it's also consumed when baked into things like brownies and cakes. How will it make you feel? The effect is extremely variable depending on your current state of mind, how regularly you take it, and so on. But being high usually means feeling chilled out and relaxed, being very chatty, becoming more aware of your senses, feeling very hungry, feeling drowsy, tired or lethargic, being confused, anxious or paranoid. What does it look like? It comes in 3 different forms: weed, grass, the dried leaves and flowers of the plant, hash, solid, a sticky brown resin that's scraped off cannabis buds and molded into a block, and cannabis oil, a thick liquid made from either grass or hash. What's a bad trip? Not everyone has a good experience with cannabis. It can make your heart race, you might panic, start hallucinating or get very paranoid. It's important to make sure you're at a good place mentally before taking any. How can I reduce the risks? Cannabis is often natural and safe, but when taken with another substance, there are risks. Here are some tips. Put as little tobacco in your spliff as possible. Don't hold the smoke in too long. Don't drive when you're high, as it can slow down your reaction time. If you're using a bong or pipe, keep it clean. If you're taking an edible, remember it takes a while to kick in. Don't get impatient and have more. Is cannabis addictive? Cannabis itself isn't physically addictive, however, if you smoke it in a spliff with tobacco, you can become addicted to nicotine. Also, you can eventually become dependent on the feeling of being high, something that can either cause or be an effect of issues with your mental health. Cannabis and mental health. Regular cannabis use has been associated with an increase in the risk of developing psychotic illnesses such as schizophrenia. This risk depends on the age you start using cannabis, the type of cannabis you use, how regularly you use it, and family history. And that's it for cannabis. Let's move swiftly on to our next drug, which is what you need to know about cocaine. Cocaine is a stimulant drug that can give you a powerful but short-lived high as it floods your body with dopamine, the happy hormone. It gives you a boost in confidence, high physical energy, mental alertness, and puts you in an elevated mood. Cocaine usually comes as a fine white powder that is inhaled, snorted. It's different from crack cocaine, which is more crystallized and is usually smoked with a pipe on foil. Should I mix cocaine with alcohol? Mixing is dangerous because both produce cocaine in your liver, increasing chances of having heart attacks, fits, and sudden death. Avoid drinking alcohol even 12 hours after taking cocaine. What can cocaine do to my body? When you take it, it can lead to a racing heart and high blood pressure, getting hot and sweaty, shakiness or loss of physical control. The after effects include a sore face and jaw, tightness in your chest, sweating, nosebleeds / nasal dryness and pain. How can I reduce the risks? If you're going to do it with people you trust. Avoid taking it alone and never do it behind locked doors. Don't inject. If the cocaine isn't pure, which you can never be sure about, you can be injecting potentially fatal toxins into your bloodstream. Decide how much you're going to take beforehand and don't go over what you decide. Don't take cocaine if you have high blood pressure or a heart condition. What can cocaine do to my mental health? Whilst you take it, it can cause paranoia, extreme irritability, intense mood swings, delusions, and hallucinations. Due to the depletion of mood-related neurotransmitters, the come down can lead to depression and foggy or slow thinking. It has also been known to trigger paranoia, schizophrenia, and hallucinogenic visions due to the damage it causes your brain. Up next, what you need to know about ecstasy, aka MDMA, Molly. It's a pill that contains a stimulant called MDMA, most commonly known for its reputation as a party drug. People taking it aim to feel euphoric, alert, confident, open, and energetic. MDMA comes in a powder or rock form, which is typically taken orally. The pills are generally colored with text or an image printed on top. What should I be aware of? Sometimes pills being sold as ecstasy don't contain any MDMA, but PMA. This mimics the effects of ecstasy, but can also cause hallucinations, unlike MDMA, and is more dangerous. If you're going to take MDMA, use a trusted dealer and keep tabs on the news for drugs that are being sold as ecstasy. How can I stay safe while taking it? Make a plan with your friends ahead of time. Don't take it alone. Stay around your friends and stick together. Stay in familiar and safe places. Low doses. It can take from 45 minutes to an hour to kick in. Avoid taking another dose just because you don't feel the effects. Don't mix. If you're on medication, especially antidepressants, make sure to do your research. Don't mix it with alcohol or other drugs that day. Drink water. Dehydration and overhydration are both risks. Drink about 2 glasses of fluid per hour if you're dancing and 1 if you're not. Treat the come down. Once you get your needed sleep and rest, make sure to eat and drink healthy. Fruits, nuts, and fatty omega-3 heavy fish are the best. What are the mental health impacts? Due to its use of feel-good neurotransmitters in the brain, the come down from ecstasy has been associated with anxiety, long-term depression, fatigue, and paranoia. Also, 34% of young people who had taken ecstasy said they had experienced challenges with their sleep. Now let's take on what you need to know about ketamine, aka Ket Special K Wonk. What is it? Ketamine is generally a grainy white powder. Users tend to snort ketamine, however some prefer to eat it in crystal form. Some users might mix it into drinks or inject it as a liquid form into the muscle. Why do people take it? Ketamine reduces the sensations in your body. You feel like you are levitating. It is a dissociative drug, so your mind and body take a break from each other. You may hallucinate and experience totally different ideas of time and space. What are the risks of taking it? Beware of the K-hole. You may find it impossible to move your limbs or experience terrifying hallucinations. You can choke on your own vomit, you can screw up your bladder and cause abdominal pain and breathing problems. Avoid mixing with alcohol or other drugs as ketamine can be very strong. How can I reduce these risks? Stay away from bodies of water such as ponds or rivers. Don't eat right before you do ketamine. Always try and have a sober friend with you. Regular use of ketamine can alter your brain in an odd way, making you see things that others don't and experience intense paranoia. And finally, let's look at what you need to know about heroin, aka smack, skag, H, horse. What is it? Heroin is a pain-killing Class A drug made from morphine, which is derived from the opium poppy. Synthetic heroin substitutes such as methadone are sometimes used as a softer alternative. What does it look like? Powder, brownish, white powder which users snort or prepare for injection. Black tar, less pure version but just as strong. Users can smoke heroin and the slang term for this is chasing the dragon. How is it taken? Brown heroin tends to be smoked by heating the powder on tin foil with a lighter. It can also be injected and bigger clumps are crushed up and snorted via rolled up paper. What are the risks of taking it? It's highly addictive, experiencing nausea or vomiting. Tolerance often develops, which means users feel like they need more to get the same effect. Shooting heroin can easily lead to an overdose. Never share needles, as this can expose you to HIV, viral hepatitis, and other infectious agents. Where can I get support? Visit the Amy Winehouse Foundation website for support with withdrawing. While many young people give up heroin successfully, mentally it can take years to be free. When coming off H, you might be prescribed methadone to help with withdrawals. If you're struggling with drugs, please reach out to our support services or visit specialist services and get some help. Specialist services include Release, where you can find useful information, legal advice and support via phone and email, and The Loop, who again provide useful information and also offer a drug checking service. You're not alone. If you're in need of support, we're here.